All right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News, the Freeze edition. Jack, he's complaining. He called me. I'm like,
Way here?
oh,
Yeah, man.
I won't even lie.
Here we go. When I got here tonight, this was almost as bad as the North Pole.
They don't turn the they don't turn the.
Well, it's out there. It's out there running. He said it won't be doing real well. I had to bring a heater from the shop.
I brought this heater in here.
Man, we're stacked on both
Stop
sides.
bringing it.
But anyway, I mean,
It's gonna start snowing in an hour.
right, yeah.
Man, it is.
In here.
And might be snowing here, yeah.
if you come in here early, you would have thought it might.
I mean, he had one foot out the door. What do you want to do? I'm like, well, I'm not there. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you.
I was this close. I was this close.
All I had to do is say, yeah, let's just, all right, yeah, all right.
Okay, good enough.
Bad part is I already drove up here. And that's, you know.
That one says, let's just drive to Scott's shop. Go there. He's got heat. I'm like, well, let me know because I'm getting ready to leave.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, but here we are. Langley Speedway. All right, let's thank our marketing partners. Got to thank GAC, Great American Company. Been with us for, man, been quite a few years now. Thanks to Guillermo Amaya.
And we'll be back this year. So
This is this year, Jack. Papa John's. Got to thank Papa John's for always providing pizza. We never get tired of pizza, Jack.
all right, what's that?
But we got to thank Papa John's. It is good. We do appreciate the free food. Slinger Speed, Tim Brown. If you want your local T-shirt guy, hit Tim Brown up. I think Tim Brown. It's not official yet, but I think Tim's going to be back this year.
Yes.
Is it official yet, Jack?
Well, yeah.
Sort of, kind of, maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty much official.
Is Tim going to do some graphics too?
Yeah, we're looking at it. Yeah.
Well, that's good. It'd be good to have some good graphics. MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister. Got to thank her for coming on board. We got to get her back on the show sometime, and she's going to help provide some with the racing suit for the winner that'll be announced in a couple of weeks at the banquet.
Days.
Yep.
Man, came $5,000. I wonder if I can get on this list next year.
No, go ahead.
Bondrich Brothers Distillery.
Have you watched that movie Lawless
Yes, I have.
with the Bondrich on?
Yes, yeah.
I hadn't been able to see it till recently,
Oh, really?
and so I've turned it on and watched it recently. And that is a wild movie. It's a good movie. It's everything he had told me about the Bondrich and the Franklin County moonshine situation there.
Yeah, and the sheriff was trying to prop on. Yeah, it's been a couple years since I've seen that, but it's a good movie. And there's some big names in there.
I always watch the Franklin County when they do something about the moonshiners. The show Moonshiners did a thing on Franklin County and all the people that have been involved in it. Even
all the criminals.
Yeah,
smuggling.
most of them. Some of them were my family. But I mean,
what was that like when you had to lock your cousin up or your nephew? Or
I knew that had to be tough. I didn't have that problem. Now I knew there was a couple around, but I didn't. But so I mean, it was a
great movie. If people don't know, Bondrich Brothers Distillery, his grandfather, I think it was, and uncles, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the movie Lawless, it's probably 20 years old, maybe. Might be a little older. I can't remember. But Lawless is a great movie, but it's about their family. Their names are in it, and it's based on true story.
Yep.
Of how if you wanted to sell moonshine, you had to give the city a cut or something. I can't remember now.
Oh, also, by the way, before we get going any further, put out our condolences to Kenny Law and Henry Law and all of them, the Laws of Franklin County, the moonshiners. He passed away this week.
Oh, okay.
And
sorry to hear.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, when you look at something and you know that you had relatives involved in it, that's kind of fun. My relative did all that.
Wow.
And then he got run out of the moonshine business. He went to West Virginia and become chief of police.
How about that?
When you know all about the law.
Yeah, I mean, credentials, I guess.
Right, yeah. All right,
Greer says it's snowing in the Outer Banks.
is it really? Well, it's supposed to be worse down there than it is to be here. I think Langley Speedway, Bill, Chuck, Terry. Thanks for us. Going to announce our winner, her miles of single scutter winner.
Yep.
At the banquet. So stay tuned for the winner. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Mountain Jack's drink of choice there. So it's great that they sponsor us. Mosquito Joe's. Hopefully I'll run into Robert Rumbles.
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 No B.
Yeah, no B.
Just Robert.
Yeah. Anyway, I talked to him. He's been out of the country
What the hell is he
Fighting-
doing?
on a cruise.
Fighting mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Just get it anywhere, right?
He's been on a cruise. He just got back in Saturday. And I had sent him a message, and he sent me a message back on Saturday. And then I tried to call him. I couldn't get through, but
You text with him because you can't send him off.
no.
Because he ain't on Facebook.
No,
he
he
watches us on YouTube.
So, but it was really cool to talk to him. He said he was just getting back, and he'll be back with us this year. And we're going to have a little announcement with him when he comes over.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
Well, maybe I'll know who he is this time at the banquet.
yeah,
There you go.
I sure hope so.
It's still pretty funny. Southampton Motor Speedway. Got to thank Sammy Gator Graphics, man. If you need t-shirts, also, and it's hate that all of our friends are in the t-shirt business.
I know.
Like, if you want t-shirts and our other friends got t-shirts, got to thank Sammy Gator, and also does the vaping there at the store.
He's into a lot of things. I think
He is.
He's
Pro 6 racing this coming year with his son.
but he's kind of moving out of the vaping thing.
Yeah, the t-shirt stuff. I mean, he's upgraded his equipment. He's talking about maybe going another step further. I know last time I talked to him on that. Got Main Dean Automotive and Moyak, Greer and Associates. Moyak. RDS. I see. Our buddy over there is turning and burning some work. I see he's hanging some bodies, doing some setup work on a bunch of the limited stuff.
Hey, Aiden Dietrich, what's going on? And Erin Goodman said, hi, friends. Hey, friends.
Oh.
So she's on here.
Who?
Erin Goodman.
Oh.
We had her on last week.
So anyway, but yeah, he's been working hard on getting some cars ready for this year.
Yeah, he's definitely, I mean, he's super busy, it looks like.
So
I mean, after last year, can you blame him?
Well, right. I mean, right now, he's the guy on top of the mountain, right?
Get my car to that guy.
Right. And
waiting.
doing a good job, right? I mean, stats speak for themselves.
oh, Aiden, we need to go ahead and get you a late model so you can go racing now. I mean,
Simple's got room for you, man.
Yeah,
we'll
right.
see if we can find something for you.
You know a guy.
So anyway,
So RDS is doing a good job. Looks like he's really busy and good for him. Let's see. Order your pizza online and use Dotson25 and get your 25% off. Fast Eddie's Barbecue. Fast Eddie wasn't that fast today.
no,
That's okay.
but we have to
Well, it was cold. And it was freezing.
cut him some slack because he is a great guy, does a lot of great things for us. So let's cut him some slack. He had to work today. I mean, I know that's a far-fetched thought for him.
I like how he compliments him and then a backhanded comment right after that. We love Eddie. And that's why we give Eddie a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's our buddy. And we appreciate the barbecue because me and Jack are barbecue connoisseurs.
I want to tell you something. Everywhere we go, we eat barbecue.
Oh, it's on the menu at least once, maybe twice.
It follows you guys around.
I mean, if we go to Charlotte, we got to go. What's the barbecue place we usually go to? Right there by the racetrack.
I can't think.
I mean,
I know which one you're talking about. I can't. Sonny's.
Sonny's, yeah. We go to Sonny's, get some barbecue. I mean, they got good barbecue, but everywhere we go, barbecue's on the menu at least once.
Hello, Stephanie Ranger. Good to see you.
Miss Stephanie. S&N Communications come on board in the middle of the season last year and continuing this year.
Yep.
And thanks S&N Communications. Airlock and Factory Canopies has been with us for a long time. They just started Airlock. It's a great device, and maybe one day we will get them on here and talk about it, how it connects the air hose to your helmet with magnets, and you can just get in and out of the car, and you don't have to worry about hooking it up. You just get it close. I mean, you get in with I think like 5 or 6 inches, and it will just automatically go over and hook together. So it's a great, cool concept. And got to thank Miles of Seamless Gutter. Miles has been part of my racing for 10 years or so, and
they're still around.
And yeah, I know that's a damn something there in it. And them coming on board and doing a sponsorship deal, and man, I'm just privileged enough. I think we're privileged enough for them to have the confidence in us to do the sponsorship every year, the last couple of years. And stay tuned. There's going to be an announcement for next year. So that's pretty cool for them to do that. I don't know of any other small racetrack and or podcast that's given $5,000 away to their local racetrack driver, for the season. So really
That's a big
thanks
thing.
to them. Yeah. Thank you so much for believing in us. Eddie said, "Don't start." What's up, Eddie? Miss Stephanie. So with that, and you said I got an announcement to make with what was it?
I create.
Wait a minute. You said somebody said for me not to make this announcement.
Yep. I ain't gonna tell you who it was. You already know, so I'm not going there.
Damn.
Anyway, it was really late.
Why?
You'll screw it up. As sure as anything.
It speaks for itself.
Beyond me.
Anyway, it's in the news. I Create Photography. It's going to be here at Langley Speedway on 2/15 and 2/20, the 22nd of February at Champs Corner, and they're going to do headshots and stuff for sponsorship for teams that need headshots or whatever.
Since you used to like me. I didn't think you did after last week.
So anyway, it's $100 for the headshots and 3 full uniform shots. It goes from 10 a.m. to 6 on those days, the 15th and the 22nd. They want you to wear a collared shirt. It can be plain or have a team logo on there. And then they want you to bring a clean fire suit, gloves, shoes, helmet, and please be patient with them because they're going to do it in 20-minute time slots and try to get everybody a chance to get a headshot and everything that they can use for their race this coming year. So $100, and that'll take care of it.
So there's $100 fee for them to do stuff.
And if you're going to want to do it, you want to set it up, message Create Photography on Facebook in their message section, or if you know any other way to get in touch with them, like if you're in touch with them for have a phone number or whatever, go ahead and do that. Also, it was another thing. The North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame in Mooresville is going to start some new stuff this on the 22nd, and it's called Meet the Authors. Now these guys are people who have wrote books about the sport of auto racing and NASCAR in particular. And the first group of authors that are going to show up are Donnie Allison, Steve Wade, David McGee, Kevin Schwartz, J.J. Grilk, Perry Allen Wood, and Will Cronkite. All those have wrote books. And go down to the North Carolina Hall of Fame, go in and meet the authors, get a book, get them to sign it. It'd be a lot of fun for you to do that. We had some racing this past weekend down at Cordell, Georgia. Bubba Pollard won the Super Series, Southern Super Series race, and Ben Mayer won the CRA Pro Late Model race. And so they've started their season off well. Garrett Smithley is taking Mike Wallace's place in the 66.
Oh, is he? Oh, I didn't see that.
He's going in the 66 car for Garage 66.
And he's always seemed to run well at Daytona, Talladega.
So he's going to be involved in that. So that'll be a big deal there. And also on the 8th and 9th, it is the Icebreaker from Florence, South Carolina.
Florence, which is not NASCAR sanctioned anymore.
I saw that. I did not know that. I hadn't talked to Steve, and I see that's.
I mean, I'm surprised. I'm shocked, to be honest. I mean, I don't know what the fees are, but it must be. He must have thought it was worth not doing.
I'm hearing there's going to be a couple more that maybe going that way too. So I don't know. They're not around this particular area, but I mean, I know there's a couple.
I know Langley Speedway is not.
Langley Speedway will never do that. So.
No.
Yeah, you can do pit crew glamour shots, Mason. I would love to see that. I would love to see.
All you gotta do, bring your $100, Mason.
Me, Adam, and Scott we're thinking about doing them too. We're gonna go down, not a glamour shot.
Yeah, nothing.
We're gonna do the head shots and stuff. I think that'd be cool. So anyway, all right, that's the news and everything. So I see our first guest is one of my heroes.
Mr. Spanky.
One of my heroes. Let's get him on here. Jason EIDSON, better known as Spanky. How you doing, Spanky?
Hey, fellas. How y'all doing?
Wow, we're doing good. And it's good to see you.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Just another day. We're breathing. That's a good thing.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day, and you said that you have any good days and bad days, but you're above ground and doing everything you can, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, ups and downs. You take the good with the bad, but you got to keep a positive attitude. And I'm gonna tell you, the Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, ain't no joke. You know, because it's unpredictable. You know, we went to Duke a couple weeks ago, well, before Christmas, and I'd gained a percentage of my lungs back function, but I lost a lot of muscle mass. And the doctor told me, don't jump for joy. He said, tomorrow you can crash. He says, but you know, you do what you want to do and have fun and live life. He says, because you know, we don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I had my uncle's stepson. He had ALS, and it is a very tough disease, and it is very unpredictable, and it can go up and down drastically. So I feel for you, buddy, and we'll miss seeing you at the racetrack. For people who don't remember who Spanky is, Spanky had Spanky's Kitchen, right?
Yep.
And man, you could smell his place from that Smithfield food all over the garage. Worked at Petty's for a long time. Who gave you the nickname Spanky?
Lord, that's a long story. We ain't got enough time for that. It's somebody, put it this way, they called me Deputy Dog because I had fat cheeks. And that didn't stick. They said, no, you look like somebody else. I said, who? And they said, Spanky, and off the Little Rascals, and that stuck.
For some reason, I was thinking it was Richard Petty that did it, but that was Squirrel. I was thinking of the name Squirrel. Richard Petty named Squirrel.
Yeah, I remember that and stuff. But you know, I appreciate you guys asking me to do this. A lot of people haven't seen or heard from me in years. You know, August of 2018 was my last day at Stewart Haas, and that's when my body decided to shut down on me, and it took them about 3 years to figure out what was wrong, and then they finally figured out it was ALS, and we've been fighting back and forth with it, you know, and it's in my lungs real bad, and it's slow progressing, but you know, it's in my legs and my arms, and now I'm pretty good because I've lost so much strength in my arms and legs, you know, especially in my arms. My right arm it's weak. But you know, I laugh about it. I mean, I laugh at it. You know, it is what it is. you know, what do? You know, it's the cards I've been dealt, and I'm gonna play them. And you know, hey, well, let's gamble with it and keep going.
Now, you know, being around the sport as long as you have, I mean, it had to, you know, you and I were talking about it the other day. It had to be something that, you know, you got into because you said there was somebody else that had the same thing.
The doctors told me and another co-worker in the past, they've done genetic tests with me and him and everything. And on my side, mama's side, my daddy's side, it showed negative. And they told us we had to be exposed to something for both of us to get it the same way we got it and everything. But, you know, the good Lord willing, I hate to say it, but mine's not rapid. Normally it's rapid in the lungs, but this other gentleman, his was rapid in the lungs, and he fought a hard fight for about 16, 18 months and stuff. And I've been lucky, you know, since 18, and then they diagnosed me in 21 that, you know, I've had a good long fight, but it's, you know, over the last year, it's beat on me and it's pulled me down a lot. You know, because from driving haulers and cooking and pulling those toolboxes, you know, you had big arms and big calf muscles and all that. I look like Pee Wee Herman now. My legs are skinny. I've lost all them muscles.
Well, are you still doing any cooking on the side there? I mean, do you still do a little bit of that, or?
Every now and then, on a good day, I'll go out there and I'll cook a bunch of pork and Boston butts and stuff like that, and I'll put on Facebook that, you know, I'm gonna cook some meat, and first 6 or 7 people that say they want a Boston butt, you know, they'll get them, and you know, it just gives me something to do, you know, when I feel like it, because you know, I'll just put them on the smoker and let them roll. You know how it is.
You still cooking on that green egg?
I still got an egg, and I got a pit boss. So, you know, little competition right there. You know, the egg takes a little bit more work, so I don't get to use it as much. And then the pit balls, I can stick it on there, and I can actually watch the temperature, you know, from my chair in the house, so I don't have to, you know, go outside with my wheelchair and stuff like that.
Well, you know, I was talking the last time I was at the racetrack. I sure missed some of that bacon you used to cook, man.
The bacon and the butts. I mean, the barbecue. Speaking of the good damn barbecue too, that we talked about earlier. Me and Jack are kind of barbecue connoisseurs on the eating side.
I love to cook barbecue. I'm gonna tell you that. A lot of people's begging me to cook for them, and I have to tell them sometimes I'm not able. I've had a few people want me to cook barbecue for rehearsal dinners and weddings, and you know, I'm sorry, you know, it's just, you know, too much for me. I can't, you know, but it pisses them off a little bit, but they see my side of the story where I can't do it.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, you know, tell us a little bit, thank you, about who all you worked with as a cook, to the teams you worked with.
I retired with Tony Stewart, with Stuart Haas, and then with Patty. Oh gosh, Red Bull, Jason Leffler at Braun. I helped Jeff Spraker for years at Spraker Racing, and done some work with Michael Walter, and God, I can't think who else I've been. David Watson, he was in the Allison Legacy series, or with the what was it, the 6 cylinders back in the day.
Yeah.
And he's passed away now. He done some stuff with Shauna Robinson and Bill Elliott. You know, that was way back in the day. And you know, when I was young and getting into the sport and everything, you know, and I actually worked for Ricky Rudd with the Tide Ride.
Wow.
And but I mean, you bounced around where the financial funds were. So one team would say, you know, they realize you're a good worker and you don't tear up stuff and you do your job right. You know, they come after you. You know, I didn't want to leave Richard Petty's, but you know, when Tony approached me, him and Zippadelli, at Homestead, and I went and talked with them. It was sort of hard to turn down what they was going to give me, and so I had to jump ship. Had to look after my future and my wife, and my retirement and all that. And
you were telling me the other day that you and your wife have got a new thing that you're doing, or she's got a new job that she's doing, and you go down and help her out some. Tell us a little bit about that.
she wanted to become a park host, and because we used to camp a lot, and I'm not able to pull the camper to the beach no more, and she wanted to apply for it, and it's a state park in South Carolina, and so she applied, and they accepted her and everything. And my brother, Steve, he's about 3 miles from where we're at, and he brought my camper down, set it up, brought the golf cart, and my wife looks after the park during the day for 5 days a week, a couple hours a day, and we get to stay down here in the camper for 6 months for free and stuff. And I don't mind. I like camping, and it actually gives me time to relax, and it gets me away from the mainstream and of life to where I can actually get stress free in the camper, and I can sleep, relax, and she can get on the golf cart and go do what she needs to do.
Well, that's good.
That's good. Now, you need to keep doing stuff like that so you can keep going. That's a good thing.
Yeah, but it's other than that. I mean, I just go to bed, get up, and glad I wake up. Put it that way.
That's right. Do you have any fond memories of racing? Do you have a favorite time or
The winning at Daytona with Richard and Almirola? Yes, it was a rain shortened race, but you win, you win. You're leading it. Whatever lap it is when the rain starts, and they know they can't get started back. I remember running my big old butt back to the hauler and it pouring down rain, because the PR girl was too lazy to go up and get the Victory Lane hat bag out of the hauler. And a lot of people, Steve Post gives me down the road about it. He said, I about knocked him down trying to get to my hauler running so fast in the rain to get that suitcase, and then run back to Victory Lane. And by the time I get to Victory Lane, I'm so out of breath I can't even talk. But a lot of people give me hell about that. Like, get out of the way. Here comes a fat boy. But, that was one of the fondest memories I won't never forget. And then I know 6 months ago, Richard's secretary called me, and they wanted me to come up there and eat dinner with him. They had the moonshiners, and they done a silent auction and stuff like that. And they invited me to come up there and eat. And me and my wife Jane went up there and eat and stuff. And of course, Richard still thinks of me, and that means a lot to me for him to have his secretary call me and invite me to come up there and eat dinner one night. So, what race team does that nowadays, and especially an old boss like Richard, would remember somebody like me. But I don't know. Me and him just had a special connection. By the time I worked for him and everything, he's a great man, and he was a great boss. And, I don't know what else to say, but, he looked after his employees.
Yeah, well, Richard's a very thoughtful guy.
Yeah.
And you had you had that attitude and abilities that you had there, that a lot of people come to hang out with you, just be with you instead of going to the
like
racetrack.
a couple sorry damn podcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Green Egg had a podcast, and they talked to me a lot, and then, like I say, I had people come, just want to eat, and then I had drivers from other race teams would send their PR guy or whatever to come. Hey, such and such wants a salad, or wants this, or wants that. You think you can do it before the race? Not only do I have to feed my guys, but I had several other drivers that wanted me to feed them. But it's all in fun. Hey, if I tell them if I got it, you can have it.
It's like
but my guys come first.
It was like what Scott just said. He said, then you had two guys that out of nowhere just showed up and wanted to eat what you had.
Y'all know y'all come anytime. I didn't care.
Well, sometimes it was even fun to watch other people that would come by and see if they could get something to eat. Sometimes Spanky would say something to him. Sometimes he would. Depends on who it was. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, it's like the pit crew would fly in, and first thing they want to do is come in and eat everything in sight. And I'd have no. You want to come eat? You come eat at 11 o'clock. Until then, get the hell away from my damn food.
The bad part, Spanky had a good poker face because sometimes you didn't know if he was serious or not.
Yeah, you had to,
But a lot of times he was serious.
but you had to know who to take care of at what time, and you needed to know when to put your foot down and stuff. I know Mike helped me come over a couple times when I was cooking prime rib, and he'd look at me. He said, "What time's it gonna be ready?" I said, "It's got about another 2 hours. I'm gonna send my bus driver over to get me a piece."
Oh, Mike.
And he would. He'd send that bus driver, his motor coach driver over there, and I'd cut him a slab of prime rib and send it that way.
Wasn't this coach driver? Wasn't his name Mike too?
I think so. God, I can't remember. That's like Rodney Childers and Otis and everybody on the 4 team. They know when I cook prime rib, cheddar, and all of them, because I'd have to put 3 or 4 thick slices back just to take over to the 4 hauler. And I think that's one reason I got a job over at Stuart House. They told Zippy how good I cooked.
There was
But
a lot of camaraderie between all you guys that were cooking and stuff like that, wasn't it? I mean,
there was, I know, Cat, Showman at that time, they didn't have the backing I did with Smithfield and the Green Egg and all that. And I know Showman retired this past year, and he had the backing. He had, Blackstone. He had a lot of food sponsors that would come on helping him, but you had to promote these names and everything to get out, I know it's like Talladega. It seemed like every year NASCAR would come to me and say, "Hey, can you come in at 4:30 in the morning?" I'm like, "What for?" "Well, we got a news crews coming in, the local news crew, Good Morning crew, and they want to do an interview with somebody cooking breakfast. And we all know you're the breakfast man." And so I'm like, hey, this will give me a head start on getting breakfast cooked before the guys even get there. So when they get there, I'm ahead of the game. And but stuff like that, doing TV interviews, and you can Google Spanky and stuff like that, and you can still see interviews that I've done over the years that I couldn't tell you who these people were, but it's on YouTube and stuff like that. But I've went back and looked and watched some of these, and I'm thinking, damn, you were a pretty good looking old guy back then. But I mean, I miss it. I do. I'm a racer at heart. But do I miss some of the BS with what's going on in NASCAR now? No. But a lot of my buddies that drive the haulers still, they say it's a lot easier and stuff. But I don't know. It's a different type of racing that I was brought up with and everything. And I'm just old school racing, and I don't like this new school racing. But hey, but it pays the bills for all these guys that still work there, and they got passion for what they do. And I'm not going down them for it, but I miss all my friends in the garage. There's Charlotte. I may get to go this year to Charlotte once or twice. It just depends on how I feel and everything and stuff, which everybody knows when I go to Charlotte, I'll have that wheelchair jacked up in elevator mode, 4 feet high, rolling around in the garage.
Well, we're normally there. When you do go to Charlotte, you make sure you let us know.
I'll bring you some barbecue. I'll put it in my backpack.
all right, that sounds good for me.
Gallon Ziploc bag full of barbecue. All I got, where's the pizza at? I don't even see no pizza laying around.
We got we got Papa John's here.
There you go. Just had to keep Scott away from that pizza.
Well,
it's tough, man.
He got here a little early tonight, so he ate it before we had everybody on.
Oh Lord. Well, it's like everybody says the camera puts 50 pounds on. It looks like it has to me, which I'm on prednisone a lot. Oh, it's a high dose of steroids, so I get my face swells a lot, and then I get it down. They take me off of it, and then they put me back on it, and I'm sitting there looking. Look at them old cheeks right there. See what I mean? You got them spanky cheeks.
Yeah, like Scott said, keep the image up now.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't know how much in the world it means for y'all to ask me to come on and say a few words and tell you a little bit about me, which you can tell my speech gets messed up a little. That's the ALS. But have you talked to Pete Wright tonight yet?
Not yet. We're getting ready. He'll be on in a little while.
Well, when you do, you make sure you tell him old Spanky said hello, because I haven't seen Pete in years. Me and him worked together at Red Bull.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember him being there. I don't remember you being there, but I remember him being there.
Well, I was behind the scenes driving the hauler with Jungle. I think who was it? Well, it was Almendinger, and then who come in after Almendinger? Was it Scott Speed? I can't remember, but I was there when Almendinger was there.
Was there.
Yeah, because Bama was the hauler driver for Vickers and stuff. But like I say, I know Bama's probably watching this, and he's gonna call me in a little bit and give me hell and stuff. But
that's what
Bama,
we do.
I'll give him a shout out. Bama, Michael Bama Williams. I know you're the #1 truck driver, 22 hauler. You just keep doing what you're doing, buddy. And I'll keep doing what I'm doing, giving everybody hell.
That's right. That's right.
Well, thank you. I want to say thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Right?
It's great seeing you, buddy.
And we were.
Yeah.
I was really excited to talk to you the other day, and I'm glad you're here talking to me today. And that's we're gonna get you back on every now and then. Let's a little while.
Well, y'all just holler at me, like I say, you know. Just a heads up, it's starting to mess with my speech a little bit. So when it starts really messing with it, you know, I'll call you and give you a heads up. You know, I went to the doctor this morning and stuff, and he said that my arms and hands and stuff like that, it's affecting it. So it's moving, it's progressing, but you know what? I don't care. Let it do what it's going to do. I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to do what I want to do.
There you go.
That's the way.
But I know y'all want to go, but I want to shout out to Scott Lloyd with Racing for ALS. Them guys have supplied me with a Honda Odyssey van. And if you don't know nothing about Racing for ALS, you need to pull it up on Facebook and look at them guys. They're a foundation for ALS, and a lot of their proceeds go to the Duke ALS clinic, and they've helped me tremendously.
Well, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll look it up, and maybe we can get him to come on the show one time and talk about what he's got going on.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great idea.
That I'm gonna tell you, that would be. You don't know how his brother passed away of ALS last year, and I'm gonna tell you that man. If you need his phone number, I will send it to you. But that's one man I'm gonna tell you that y'all really need to get him on the show, because, like I said, a lot of people don't know about ALS, and they don't know what it is. You know, so he would be the perfect person to talk to you.
Yeah. Now send us the number. I think it'd be a great idea.
Yeah, send him a number. We'll get it taken care of. We'll get him on here. And,
Jack, Scott, I will. And like I say, I appreciate everything y'all do for me, and just keep me in your prayers.
Will do, buddy.
We'll do that. And it's great to talk to you. You're one of my heroes. And we'll see you soon, hopefully.
All right. Y'all have a blessed evening.
You
Okay,
too.
buddy.
Thank you very much, man. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, sir.
Man, old Spanky. I mean, he was a great guy. I missed seeing him at the racetrack, right?
No.
But you definitely knew where he was at, man. He had Smithfield Baking going. I mean, it was like a damn.
They had that sponsorship, man. That's got to be perfect for him.
Oh, it was great.
Stock to just.
I mean, he get whatever he wanted. He got all the Smithfield food, and then they had the green egg going. He must have had 2 or 3 eggs there on the trailer, and I mean, it was always barbecue. I think it was. I mean, it was
always some kind of pork.
bacon, barbecue.
I bet that motivated Tony to come and show up and bring his boys. I bet you they had a good time, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was with Richard Petty for a long time. When we met him, he was at Richard Petty. I don't even know how we stumbled. We probably wanted some free food.
Probably smelled it.
They were like, "Hey, Spanky,
What's that? Hey man.
I believe I don't know if somebody introduced us to Spanky or not. I can't remember how that introduction came about.
Honestly, one of the greatest guys in the garage area. It was a lot of fun. Aggravating him and him aggravating us when we went over there was a lot of fun. And I tell you
Or
what,
did we know Andrew? We knew Andrew. Was that before?
no, we knew Andrew after.
Was it after?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
We
thinking
knew
so
Andrew
too.
after.
I was gonna know if maybe he had introduced us or so, or maybe we just been being in the garage, got to talking to him.
Think about the guys that are over there doing the cooking for these race teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Unsung heroes.
they are.
And Spanky was doing it all by himself.
He did everything. Looked like everything was done all
And
by
believe me,
himself.
it's a lot of damn work.
Especially for a 4-car team, man. I mean, good
But
lord.
he had it going. He was by himself. But those guys cooking for those teams, they are busy and they keep busy all day long doing all the
Well,
stuff.
and they're there way before the garage opens.
Yep.
And generally, besides race day, they're there until after everybody's done because they got to feed everybody. They make sure, during the race they have a certain amount. Every team has a little different setup. I don't remember particularly on how his was, but I don't see a lot of it what Andrew is doing. And man, it's like being a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest. I mean, it's hustle, 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 hustle. And then as soon as you get breakfast done and guys start to eat, you slack for just a little bit, and then you got to start worrying about lunch. And then, what the guys are going to eat for dinner. It depends on what time the garage closes. And then, I mean, you compare Spanky against the guys today, right? We have a much shorter practice and time you're on the racetrack. So you're only cooking half the time of what guys used to do. Or, when Spanky first started coming along, was you cooked Thursday, probably Friday, all day Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday.
Yeah, when
Well,
he
now we've
started,
got these 2-day shows,
that's the way it was back then. And now they're in and out. They're still busy, but
Yes.
I mean, I like it that each team has their own little setup. And
Well, it's migrating now, so we know that Bob, what's his name, Bob?
Norman, but Ben Norman.
Is
Some of the guys just doing the Xfinity side.
yeah,
That's Bob
So-
Ben Norman.
yeah. So yeah, that's right. Yeah. So he's been sort of graded over that way, so he's just strictly does trucks and Xfinity and stuff. And then you have the three sort of cooking teams, and Kat has a lot of teams come to her, and they have 4 guys. I think 2 or 3 of them that's come through Andrew's kitchen and went to work over there. You have Showman. I don't know who. They still don't know who's going to take over his stuff. He's supposed to help for the first 4 races. And of course, that's one team, but they're affiliated with a few. And then you got, Andrew's got Rick Ware, and then they have Klowski, and that team eats over there, and they have the Xfinity side, so he has quite a few.
Imagine this coming year when everything's going to be changing. I mean, Showman's gone, and there's going to be, Stuart Haas group is now gone.
Yes.
So from what I understand, they're not going to have a cooking situation.
Well, they only have the one cup team and 2 Xfinity
Two
teams.
Xfinity teams.
And I'm sure they'll be eating over to Andrews because that's all sort of affiliated together. I thought they were going to be moving over to Roush Fenway Racing, but apparently not. I assume they're still at their old shop. I guess they didn't sell that with the charters or whatever. Maybe something didn't come out right or whatever. What's up, Dennis? How you doing, man?
Dennis Powell Jr. How you doing, man? How's everybody doing up your way? Or down your way, whatever you want to call it.
What's up, Boo? Let's see, Boo's watching. He's finally here. Eddie Clark. Yeah, there is a much different food than sort of when Spanky was cooking. It was all, meats, hot dogs, not so healthy food, to be honest. Now there's Andrew does a really good job. I know Andrew is a culinary chef.
They're more, the things now is more going that way with everything.
I think Andrew does more of that than most because he is the only culinary chef cooking. I And I know sometimes we go over there, but Andrew always has a little bit of both, right? You can go over there and you're like, yeah, that looks good. You go over to the first part of the table, he's got like a buffet thrown out, and you're like, oh, this is the good side. But he does have some stuff that's kind of interesting. He'd be like, try it, Scott. It's good. This is what it is. I'm like, oh, what is that?
Just trust me.
I don't do a whole lot of trying. Has to be.
Yeah, this one be like, hey, bring me something back when you come back.
Right.
I mean, we're very, very fortunate, right? You got to think all those, most of the cooks out there. We haven't really met Kat. I guess we probably should have her on at some point so that we can, maybe we can have food over there too.
Over the base.
Right. Just in case somebody's not there.
Sure.
But you think about it,
We're
when
very
we go,
lucky.
when we go to the racetrack, we're not hurting for food when we get there. That's
Well, but
You know the right people.
Well, it's the right people, and certain racetracks have good food and some don't.
Oh.
It's
Would you like to expand on who don't? I mean,
Martinsville doesn't have good food.
You talking about the hot dog?
Well,
Scott,
I'm a plain kind of guy. I always come
come on.
with onions and whatever their standard thing is. Bring them into
I don't even look. I don't eat a hot dog. Usually, the only thing
mustard and onions. I think is what they put on them. I think.
they put mustard, onions, chili, coleslaw, and everything is on their hot dog.
Oh yeah.
And I
mean,
love them.
well, I'll eat the hot dogs, but they only fix them the one way and they bring them in the media center. But that's just one meal. But they other things, I'm not the greatest. So usually we go over and eat at Andrew's. Now, man, I can tell you, Phoenix had good food, and they had a nice. Of course, it's all new inside Phoenix. The media center was really nice. They had a nice setup in there. They had breakfast. Richmond has good food.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dover always had really good food.
Dover,
I mean, you ain't gonna go without eating.
Dover
at
was
Dover.
unbelievable.
They had. I mean, one day they might have donuts and whatever for breakfast, and then they might have pizza and a buffet out there. I mean, there's great food at
And they
Dover.
have fountain drinks.
Yes.
Can't go wrong with that.
They had fountain drinks. You don't get you can get bottles,
Yeah.
but they got the fountain drinks that are really, really. I mean, that's
The actual machines?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
man.
got them in the media
Yeah.
center.
That's the only place that does have that. Everybody else just has a.
The ones
I'm
with
saying that.
70 different choices or whatever.
Well, they all have. It depends on who they're sponsored by, right? It might be
Right.
Coke or whatever. Like you go to Charlotte, there's Coke in the machine, but there's canned drinks.
That's cool. That's the way to go.
He's making them hungry. He says Martinsville has the best hot dogs. They do have good
I got to go with that.
I have gone over and even paid for them and bought them because they're plain. Or I want just chili and cheese, but I don't think they have cheese there.
No, they don't
I
have.
don't think they do.
No.
I think you just got to get. For me, it's
So,
just gotta
so
chili.
when you go over there, you're un-American.
Whatever you want. I don't give a fuck.
So you go over there, you're un-American. You don't eat the Martinsville hot dog.
Does that surprise you?
No, not really. No. But it's really, I mean, it is. Oh gosh, I love them hot dogs. And I would go with when my son was with Phoenix, and I was in the garage with the team and everything. And they were keeping records of how many hot dogs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they all do, yeah.
They splash it up
Tally
there.
marks.
Yeah,
And I will say, Brandy brought this up about the concessions here. They do redneck chili in the beginning of the year. That we have good food here, like
yeah.
for a fast food or however you want it, for a concession stand at a sporting event or any event place. The food is reasonably priced
and good.
and it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know how many damn redneck fries I've eaten in my life, right? Or chicken fingers or
Redneck burgers now.
is it redneck
They
burgers?
came out with a redneck burger. I think it wasn't on the menu this past year, but I think it's coming this year.
Well,
But you had to be in the know to ask for one.
oh,
what?
Redneck burgers.
Redneck burger.
You didn't get one this year?
No,
I ain't
We
heard
talk about it
this.
all the time, man. Get you a redneck burger. It's not on the menu. You got to know. I think it's coming this year though, so it'll be on the menu this year. But redneck
I
burger.
have to remember that.
so the redneck burger is the burger and the.
I think it's chili and
Everything
on a redneck hot
Scott
dog.
doesn't eat slaw. No, Scott does not eat slaw.
Now I don't know where John D'Aquisto is. He was supposed to be here calling at 7:30.
That should lower your credit score.
I don't like slaw either.
We got
I'll take the credit, Eddie. I don't know, man. He's looking at us like,
I know Eddie. Well, that one time when he thought he brought barbecue and he brought two things of coleslaw.
oh, that was a bad day for you, man.
No, he was fast. That's why it's Fast Eddie's.
Oh,
He went home and come back and brought the barbecue. He lived up to the name. Chili is where it's at. I'm telling you.
Can't go
Now I
wrong.
love good chili too. I like the good chili.
Oh, I do too.
We could serve chili here.
Yeah, well, especially at the beginning of the season or the end of the
It's
season.
fantastic. Oh, yeah.
Although it's probably
It's
not a
cooler out,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's not a great canned food to eat. Would be the only
Yeah, I
thing I
guess.
think.
Maybe not.
So maybe chili on your burger or something.
They could serve it in a cup.
Chili,
or in a-
actually, instead of the redneck fries, it needs to be chili and fries and cheese. I like it.
Man,
Brandon,
we need
is
to,
that
who do we
what-
talk to? We need
I
to-
know, right?
we
That's
need to
why
go
we got
talk
great
to somebody.
ideas.
Yeah, we need to talk to Brian. I met Brian.
Is that Brian? Is that Bill's brother, Brian?
I'm not sure.
Well, see, we were going to take credit for that. That's what Brandy actually said. He'd be redneck chili in the beginning of the season, and the end of the season. See how we just took that information and ran with it? It was like our own idea.
With a hot chocolate.
Huh?
You ever had hot chocolate?
Yeah, I've had hot chocolate, but it's cool out. Yeah, I thought you was talking about with the redneck stuff.
I don't know if you want to go that far.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure like hot chocolate stuff would
It
sell,
would be great.
especially this time of year.
When we have the 5 o'clock start time, let's change it up.
You know, and I really like the 5 o'clock
I do too.
start time. I'm really surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised that if it would migrate throughout the season at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, we're out of here at a decent time. Although, and sometimes I forget it was 5 o'clock, and I'd be like, "Oh, we're over about 5 o'clock before qualifying." And you're like, "Oh, we're going to start racing." You're like, "What?"
It's very condensed.
But
You're
it's
qualifying and you're going right after. It's pre-race.
But it's like this year, one of the times I had my uncle come
Mhm.
to be here. And I told him, come on down for the race. And they're thinking the race starts at 7 o'clock. And they're coming down the road. And he says, all right, we're almost there. I said, well, I'm glad the race is starting. So,
It comes in a cup.
walking cocktail.
Randy's got all kinds of ideas.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, why don't you take over? Why don't you take over
Why-
with
charge
the
the concessions.
Yeah. Well, let's say, why don't you bring some of that stuff up here? We'll sample it. And
Ooh.
we'll tell you if it's a good
I like
idea
that.
or not. We're like, yeah, this should go on the menu.
All right.
It's the pass.
Yeah.
You gonna do your thing this time? Or?
Oh, we got, I didn't even see Pete. Oh, let's see. Who we gonna do this time? Let's do. Oh no, I think we already did him. All right, let's do.
Hello, I'm Brian Morehouse, Director of Marketing for S&N Communications Incorporated. I'd like to welcome you to this week's show of Jack Dodson'S Inside Racing News with Scott Allen and Adam Welbrock.
That's right. What's up, Pete? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, cuz?
What's happening, man? Good to see you.
Oh, were you in the attic?
I'm in the basement, hanging out with my dogs.
That's a good,
Probably quieter down
that's a
there.
good place.
Yeah.
Your wife don't want you down there and aggravate her.
No, she's upstairs watching the news. See what Trump does next.
Well, he's keeping everybody busy.
Yes, he's doing everything he said he would do.
I'd like to have his energy.
Oh my goodness, what are you talking about?
How old are you all the time?
He's been up all day yesterday and all day today, and which is,
I
he
think
can
he
go home to a good-looking wife, so he's good shape.
Now, hey, Pete, you said you were working 3 or 4 days a week. What you got going on?
Oh, it's nothing much. I'm just helping some guys out around here that need some help. And it's not in racing, it's something else.
Oh man, come on! I was thinking we might be turning you back into the racing again.
I've had the opportunity, but I just I love the sport and all my doing it. Right now I'm happy with the way it is. So if I ever got back into it, it'd be maybe out here on these local speedways. Now I'm going to Bowman Gray. You can bet on that.
Mm.
I knew you were going to go to Bowman Gray. I figured you were going to be there.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If I have to, I'll set up in one of them old big pine trees.
So, what do you think about NASCAR going to Bowman Gray? I mean, at
first I thought it was kind of crazy because no one's been to Bowman Gray on February the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually about like it is outside now on February 2nd. So I'm just, you talk about the time and all, it's just the wrong time, but yet I am happy for Bowman Gray. I mean, it's going to be better than what we watched the last 2 years out there in LA for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that they're doing it at Bowman Gray. I think it's going to bring attention to Bowman Gray.
Yeah, I go up there when I get a chance with friends and stuff. I'm a real good friend of Tim Brown's. I worked with him at MB2, and I have a lot of respect for Tim. And I called him today. He got that, ride and all, and told him I was happy for him to get it and congratulated him because he told me, he said, I either go up there and do good or I make a fool out of myself. And he said, I've done both in my life, so it shouldn't be too bad.
So how cool do you think that is with Tim and then you have Bert both running that race? It's got to be. I hope they have really good runs. I think it'll bring attention to Bowman Gray and to those guys.
Yeah, and if the race gets boring, them two can fight like they usually do.
Well, Jack, that's your end. You can get him to tell Tim to give us a call.
You since you're good friends with Tim, I've been trying to get a hold of him for about 3 or 4 weeks now.
Tim Brown.
Yeah.
I'll call him tomorrow.
Yeah, call him and tell him I want to get him on the show. At least talk to him about his
next week.
Yeah, next week we good. But I mean, I know he's got a lot going on. But if I could get him on here, because I've been trying ever since they made the announcement that he was going to drive that car. I was going to try to get him on here.
Yeah, I'll call him tomorrow and see what his problem is.
Yeah, please do. He may have a problem. I don't know.
Nah, he's just got so much going on right now, and he's about as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. He's just, he's excited and he's worried that he might not do good, and everybody's wanting him to, and he don't want to let nobody down. He just wants to do a good job.
I think he'll do a good job.
Bert, as far as Bert, I don't know Bert personally. I've met him, but I've never had any kind of talks with the man. I mean, he runs good over there. He's hard to beat, just like Tim. But I think if I had to pick the prettiest race car at Bowman Gray in the modified tour, I'd have to pick Tim Brown's. That's the beautiful.
The blue car with the HAAS jewelers on it. That's pretty cool.
That fluorescent orange now.
Oh, it's fluorescent orange now.
Go online and pull it up. That thing is beautiful. You can't miss it on the racetrack.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I don't go to Bowman Gray. I haven't been to Bowman Gray but one time. So next time you go down, you need to let me know. I probably won't be able to go this time, but if you go to Bowman Gray, let me know. I'd like to come down there and watch the race there.
Yeah, I'm with. First time there was 1959. So I was 6 years old. And I remember Patty Richard was there, and Fred Lorenzen was sitting on the hood of his car drinking a Dr. Pepper before the race. And it's always been in the back of my mind how them drivers just stood out there and talked and had a good time, and then they raced.
Yeah, that's not like that now. You don't have a whole lot of conversations these days.
No. And they used to have a black guy that stayed down there in 1 or 2, and he could spread stay dry faster than any truck NASCAR's ever had out of a 5-gallon bucket.
That's probably not. What's the black guy that was official down there for a while? They got sick.
I can't think of who it is now.
I used to love somebody to blow up or something so I could watch him spread that.
And look, we had Spanky on here a few minutes ago.
Who?
Spanky. You know Jason Easton that used to be a cook and truck driver?
He worked with you at Red Bull.
Yeah, I got you now.
We had him on. He told me to tell you hi.
I don't know all these lingo names. I have to just I have to sit down and just think about it.
Now wait a minute. Yeah. Somebody just put your nickname up here.
What is it? Big Sexy?
Mudflap.
Mudflap.
Oh my God! Where's Henry Benfield?
No, this is Bama Williams.
Oh, okay, okay. Mudflap. That's what the nickname that. It was 1982, I think, and I was riding in the Hagen truck with the truck driver going to California, and we all was running like a convoy. It was probably 8 or 9 trucks running together. And the truck driver got tired about Mississippi and wanted me to drive. I never drove a big truck like that. I drove dump trucks and stuff like that, but never a 18-wheeler. And he put me in the seat and told me to keep up with him. So Henry Benfield gets on there and asks me what my handle was, so if he had to call me. And I said, I don't have one. He said, I'm giving you one now. Your name is Mudflap. I said, okay. Okay, I'll be Mudflap. And I hung in there, but he got me on the way back home. We was coming back home, we was coming back into Mississippi. And I had stopped. We stopped so we could make a driver change, and they went on. They told me to catch up with them at the scales. Well, I get on up there about 4 or 5 miles from the scales, and Henry comes over to CB and tells me to keep coming on, that the scales are closed. So I got out in the left lane, and here I go. When I got to the scales, I went by, and they was all standing on the running board of their truck waving at me. I went by. And this little light come in behind me, and he was laughing about as hard as they were. It was just a big joke, but I thought the scales was closed. But there they all stood. Old Norman was there, and Bandit, and it was just a bunch. Rick Peters, Henry Benfield. It was just a bunch of them. Just waved at me as I went by. Harold Stott was driving Bud Moore's truck.
It was, back in those days, it was a lot of fun, but you don't see the fun like that anymore.
No.
I mean,
No. You guys don't know what fun is. We went to the racetrack and spent 4 or 5 days at a time, but we had a friendship, we had a family, we had everything right there, and it was just good times. I mean, I feel sorry for these guys now. They don't know what it's like to, go out and have a good time with their friends or anything like that. And that's what really you found out about a lot of people back then. You knew about people. You knew what their problems were. You knew how they did things. And, this day and time, I just don't think that's there.
No, I don't think so either.
It's the environment is completely different in the garage area now, and everything that it used to be. It's just completely different. Even from the short time that I was been hanging around there, when I was hanging there in the garage area, it's changed a lot. So.
Oh, I went to one race 2 years ago at Charlotte at the Roval. I went to the Xfinity race, and I sat up in the truck and talked to my friend Wayne Alton more than I did watch the race.
Yeah, it's not. You done got out of it now, so you done got away from them things.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not there no more. It's just I miss it. Oh boy, I miss my friends. I try to stay in touch with the ones I can. February the 8th, I've got to go, and Tim Brewer's getting inducted into the Darlington Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's cool.
He wants me and Mike Hill and all the guys from Junior to come down there with him and watch him get inducted to that. And I'm looking forward to that, spending some time with, working at Junior Johnson is probably the best days of my life, if you really want to know the truth.
How long were you there?
85 to 91,
Mm.
92, somewhere in there. Heck, I never forgot. Long as we have a good time, and all the stories I tell is about working there, because it was always something going on every day. Every day. You was either picking up rock or working on a race car. One of the two.
I mean, y'all guys then were so innovative, right? I mean, that was kind of the fun in that time of being innovative, working in the gray area, and seeing who you can get away with, right?
Well, where well to answer that. Yes, we're in the gray area. How about that? We like Junior always says, you're not breaking any rules. You're just stretching them a little bit.
That's right.
Making new ones.
That's right.
Do you remember, Pete? I brought Lee down to see you at Rockingham one time in the garage. You remember what you told him?
About
He
it.
was talking about getting in the business, and you remember what you told him?
I told him not to.
Yeah.
I told him not because I don't know. I shouldn't have told him that because it'd been good to me, but I always told the younger people, you don't want to get into this sport. You ain't never home. You eat and sleep on the road, and you don't know where the next meal's going to be, and you'll spend 10 to 12 hours in a van riding with 6 or 7 of the stinkiest people in the world coming home from a race. But I wouldn't take nothing. Only thing I would take, there's nothing I wouldn't take for what them days I had. I think about.
Do you have a favorite memory?
Oh my God, yeah, I got several. I got. Wow. I guess my favorite one was probably. Man, you asked a hard question. I got some. Wow.
That's terrible when you got so many.
Memory I had was Junior letting me come to work for him. I mean, to go to work back then for Junior Johnson, you felt like you were somebody. You had accomplished something. But winning the championship in '84 was a good memory. We were a bunch of old country guys up here in Thomasville. There's 14 of us, motor room and all. And Dale Inman was our leader, and that is one great person. I love Dale Inman to death. We still talk on the phone a lot. And just the camaraderie and everything that we had back then, it was probably one of my best memories. Between that and calling home from Dover and finding out Adam had been born.
Yeah.
We got a question here. It says, ask you about the big wheels at Dega.
The big wheels at Dega.
Yeah. Said fun times.
Big wheels at Dega. I know we ran big wheels at Dega, but there was. Tell them to ask you what they mean. I'm getting old. I couldn't turn this phone on.
Well, Pete, let me ask you another question while he's doing that. Look, they got a lot of these stops for tots and stuff like that where they bring a lot of the people back. Have you ever thought about coming out and doing some autographs and signing with the places?
Yeah, if I ever got asked or anything, I probably would. But, I never was one of those crew chiefs or guys that I guess I didn't sell myself enough back in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a crew chief, I didn't have an engineer. I didn't have a car chief. Didn't have a shop guy. And I had to do all that. And now they got time to talk to, as the time went on, you could talk to people. You could talk to the press and everything like that. But I don't think I came along at the right time to, like I said, I just didn't sell myself. Me and Mike Hill, that's one thing we when he became crew chief up there for that McDonald's car and stuff, he was kind of like acting kind of like me. He did his work, and that's what he was hired to do, and that's what he did. And as far as there's times that I have went and done things. Rick Houston, I don't know if you know Rick Houston.
Yeah, I know.
I have done several podcasts for him. He does podcasts, Winston Cup or whatever that is. He used to be on Winston Cup Illustrated.
Yeah, I remember.
I did a bunch of podcasts for him. If you go to YouTube, that's the easiest way, and just punch in my name. I got several. Me and David F. and John Dodson did one. That thing's got like 74,000 views. But
Well, see, I'm gonna get in touch. I go down every year to Mooresville, and they do the Stocks for Tots thing, and they bring the guys in to sign autographs.
They would love to have Pete too.
And I've talked to John Dodson, and I've talked to Eric Inyard.
yeah,
And I'm gonna get them to invite you down to come over there, because I would love to have you come over there and be a part of that.
okay, I would do that. I mean, I would love, because I could take time to do that. I really could. One thing I want to say is I really miss my friend Ryan Pemberton.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a dark spot in my life, because I thought a lot of that guy. And we had been talking a lot up to the time he died. We'd call each other, and we would laugh, and we would carry on and talk about things. He said, I've been trying to think. He said, what did we do at Sears Point one time during the race? I said, we stopped the race. He said, how did we stop the race? I said, remember, we had to get the backup car out for Ernie, and he didn't like the car, so we had to pit over there on Gilligan's Island, they called it. And we had to, we always took a water tank over there, to cool the motors down.
Yeah.
So we had our water tank over there, and I never will forget, old Mad Dog, we called him, came up and asked me, he says, can we go ahead and drain the water tank? It was about 7-8 laps to go, and we weren't running worth a darn, so it wasn't no big deal. And I said, go ask Ryan. And Ryan said, yeah, go ahead and empty it. Well, when they started emptying it, they didn't realize the water was running out on the racetrack over there going into turn 11. And they had to stop the race and build a dam with stay dry so they could finish the race, because all the water they had dumped out of that water tank was running on the racetrack. And they were curlicue. Well, all of a sudden, here come Mike Hilton and Gary Nelson. Oh my God, you should have seen. Mike Hilton was as red as a red crayon. He was so mad. And he come over to me and started laying into me. I said, go talk to Ryan. Let him have it all. I don't want none of this. But that was something me and Ryan talked about, and we laughed about that. We actually shut a race down one time.
Those were the days, wasn't it, back in those times?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Pete, I appreciate you being with us
Tell them
tonight.
what the big wheels is.
Oh,
What?
Oh, wait a minute. Bama said the big wheels is what y'all had 3 wheels that you would ride them to the apartments in Dega, and surprised that nobody ever got hurt.
Oh, yeah, the big wheels. Yeah, the big wheels. I know what you're talking about down there at the motel, the little resort we stayed at. There were some big wheels there, and my son was one, and Bama was another one, and they were all out there riding like little kids on them things, and no alcohol involved, by the way.
Yeah,
And they were putting on a show. It was so funny watching them. They were like the little kids out there riding on them things. They would take off down the hill, headed toward the lake, and spin them things out before they got to the road, to the lake. It was just good times. Good times.
That's the way it is. Well, Pete, I appreciate you spending some time with us. It's good. It's always great to talk to you, man. I really enjoyed talking to you. I mean, you have to come talk to me. I'm your cousin. You can do that.
Try to keep everything in the family.
That's right. And we got another one sitting over here that he's going to be part of that racing thing before it's over with too.
You got it. You didn't come to the reunion.
No, I didn't get a chance to. I had something come up and couldn't be there for that.
Your dad made it,
Yeah. So,
but a lot of people didn't show up. I don't know. It wasn't as big as what the first one was, but yeah, I have to take care of my family.
yeah, you do a great job, man. We appreciate it, and I'll be getting in touch with you real soon. And I'm gonna get all that straight. I'm gonna get you down there for that Stocks for Tots, so you can be down there.
Okay, sounds good. Call me anytime, guys. I know I hadn't been answering your calls and everything, Jack, but now just call me anytime you want me to talk on this show and make a fool out of myself. It ain't that.
Hey, we love it. We love to hear the stories. It means a lot to us. And thank you for your time.
All right.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
Man, those guys like that, man, the stories that those guys have
Listen
got.
to that all day, man.
Right. I would love to live some of those old stories,
Man.
the
No, I mean,
partying,
I mean,
the
Lee
practical jokes. To do
Lee used to tell me about going to work at JTG, the Wood Brothers JTG. He'd go to work and he'd go hang out with Glenn Wood and Leonard Wood. He'd go hang out with him. Leonard Wood even put the stuff on his hair. He put the gel in his hair because my son had it back then when he had the hair sticking straight up and everything, and had the hair stuck out and everything. And Leonard decided he was dating a young girl at the time. So Leonard decided he asked him, where do you get that stuff and stick your hair up like that? So Lee got him some of the stuff and they put it up. He had his hair stuck up so he could go to his girlfriend's house. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the stories you hear from way back there, I mean, that's the reason why I love talking to guys like these. And they
It's like
go,
the history of the sport. Right?
that's right. And that means a lot because you don't know where Anyway, I don't know where Racing Jason went. He was supposed to be with us tonight. He ain't come on. And John DiCostanzo. Now Regina's servant will be with us next week. She had to fly somewhere today, so she couldn't be with us. But I'm gonna hit these guys
Is
up
she in
again.
Vegas too with Queen?
Oh, then that could be. I didn't ask where she was going.
But that was it's a concrete thing out there in Beans.
I saw that. Yeah.
I guess he sponsored or something. The concrete company is affiliated.
I saw you out there.
So anyway, all right. Next week's show. If it works out like I wanted to, Regina Servant's going to be with us next week. Got a guy named Cole Jarrett.
I'm gonna say Cold Blues.
No, Cole Jarrett. He's from Boykins, Virginia. You know where Boykins is?
Yeah.
Right. He's from Boykins, Virginia. He's going to be running down at Dixieland a lot this year.
Okay.
So I'm going to get him on the show this week. And there's one more. I can't think of who it is right off the top of my
And
head.
maybe if Pete can get Tim Brown, maybe we can have Tim.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him up again tomorrow and make sure he does that because I really would like to do that. So anyway,
Ain't no doubt in my mind.
so Ricky Roberts says, Scott, are you taking Jack home with you to stay? Is it snowing out there?
He went. Well, I mean, earlier today, Ricky, he was whining. It was so cold. Do you want to cancel the show?
Oh, a little bit.
Is it?
A little dusty out there, yep.
All right, well,
Oh, yeah.
all right, that's our show for tonight.
We gotta get home. All right, sorry guys.
I gotta get back to Southampton County. So I gotta get going. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Thanks, Ricky.
all right, well,
Ron,
we'll all talk.
good job on your video, Ron.
We'll talk to you again real soon. Next Tuesday night, we'll all be there. But
As long as it's not snowing, we'll be there.
Right.
Um,
We'll see if Jack gets home tonight.
Huh?
We'll see if Jack gets home tonight. We can make it home.
That's all right. Clay can drive.
oh hell, no.
I got it. Oh, she
Hey, Ricky Rock, sorry, Jack, I didn't mean to hurry up. I'm glad
We're glad you did.
You're oblivious. So you're 5 inches out there. And we're like, what? We left earlier.
I know I'm gonna be getting a call in a few minutes anyway.
She just texted.
Oh, Jack's got to go. Boss just text. All right, guys. See you guys next week. Thanks, guys.